Toccata. A musical composition for a keyboard instrument designed to display the performer's touch and technique. Unambitious. Not motivated by a strong desire to succeed. Unappetizing. Not inviting or attractive. Unchristian. Not in accordance with the teachings of Christianity. Unconditioned. Not formed or influenced by conditioning or learning, instinctive. Ungrammatical. Not following grammatical rules. Uninviting. Not attractive. Upcountry. And adjective in or toward the inland areas of a country. Vend. Offer small items for sale. Voile. A thin, semi-transparent fabric of cotton, wool, or silk. Walla. Indian or informal, a person of a specified kind or having a specified role. Achromatic. Transmitting light without separating it into its constituent colors. Anticline. A ridge or fold of rock in which the strata slope downward from the crest. Asocial. Avoiding social interaction, inconsiderate of or hostile to others. Backbeat. Music a strong accent on one of the normally unaccented beats of the bar. Backbiting. Spiteful talk about a person who is not present. Blowpipe. A weapon consisting of a 129 blue book long tube through which an arrow or dart is blown. Cacique. In Latin America or the Spanish-speaking Caribbean, a native chief. Caracal. A brown lynx-like cat with black tufted ears, native to Africa and Western Asia. Carload. The number of people that can travel in an automobile. Carpetbagger. Informal, derogatory one, a politician who tries to get elected in an area where they have no local connections. Cinematograph. Historical, chiefly Brit. Cochineal. A scarlet dye used for coloring food, made from the crushed dried bodies of a kind of insect. Cocksure. Arrogantly confident. Cohere. Form a unified whole, be logically consistent. Conurbation. An extended urban area consisting of several towns merging with the suburbs of a central city. Coterminous. Having the same boundaries or extent. Dacron. Trademark a synthetic polyester, polyethylene terephthalate, with tough, elastic properties, used as a textile fabric. Denarius. Rye 1/ an ancient Roman silver coin. Dozy. Feeling drowsy and lazy. Dramaturgy. The theory and practice of writing plays. Drogue. A device towed behind a boat or aircraft to reduce speed or improve stability, or as a target for gunnery practice. Electrum. An alloy of gold with at least 20% of silver, used for jewelry. Elephantine. Typical of or like an elephant, especially in being large or clumsy. Emasculate. Make weaker or less effective. EPROM. Computing a read-only memory whose contents can be erased and reprogrammed using special means. Execrable. Extremely bad or unpleasant. Extramural. Outside the boundaries of a town or city. Festoon. Decorate something with chains of flowers, lights, etc. Fillip. A stimulus or boost. Flatulent. Suffering from a buildup of gas in the intestines or stomach. Flyaway. Fine and difficult to control. Galette. A round, flat, crusty cake. Jinx. Short for Generation X. Halftone. A reproduction of a photographic image in which the different shades are produced by dots of varying sizes. Halyard. A rope used for raising and lowering a sail, yard, or flag on a ship. Haymaker. A person involved in making hay. Hellenism. The national character or culture of Greece, especially ancient Greece. Henge. A prehistoric monument consisting of a circle of stone or wooden uprights. Herbalism. The study or practice of using herbs for medicinal or therapeutic purposes. Hominy. Coarsely ground corn used to make grits. Infrasound. Infrasonic sound waves. Instantiate. Represent something by a particular instance or example. Intermix. Mix together. Jailbird. Informal, a person who is or has repeatedly been in prison. Kielbasa. A highly seasoned Polish sausage, typically containing garlic. Laserdisc. A disc resembling a large compact disc, used for high-quality video and for interactive multimedia. Lebensraum. Territory that a state or nation believes is needed for its natural development. Microcode. A very low-level set of instructions controlling the operation of a computer. Minim. 1/60th of a fluid dram, about 1 drop of liquid. Minoxidil. A synthetic drug used in the treatment of hypertension and in lotions to promote hair growth. Motorman. The driver of a subway train or streetcar. Naturism. Nudism. Non-denominational. Open or acceptable to people of any recognized branch of Christianity. Non-union. Not belonging to or connected with a labor union. Ojibwe. A member of an American Indian people of the area around Lake Superior. Orrery. A clockwork model of the solar system. Overwinter. Spend the winter in a particular place. Parasailing. The sport of gliding through the air wearing an open parachute while being towed by a motorboat. Parthenogenesis. Biology, reproduction from an ovum without fertilization, especially in some invertebrate animals and lower plants. Parvovirus. Any of a class of very small viruses causing contagious disease in dogs and other animals. Patentee. A person or body that obtains or holds a patent. Patronymic. A name derived from the name of a father or ancestor, e.g., Johnson, O'Brien. Payola. The practice of bribing someone in return for the unofficial promotion of a product. Percolator. A machine for making coffee, consisting of a pot in which boiling water is circulated through a small chamber that holds the ground beans. Pinprick. A prick caused by a pin. Polygyny. The practice of having more than one wife at the same time. Propagator. A covered, heated container of earth or compost, used for germinating seedlings. Ragamuffin. A person in ragged, dirty clothes. Repast. Formal a meal. Rivulet. A very small stream. Ryegrass. A grass used for fodder and lawns. Scow. A flat-bottomed boat for transporting cargo to and from ships in harbor. Scrimp. Be very careful with money, economize. Scupper. A hole in a ship's side to allow water to run away from the deck. Semtex. A type of plastic explosive. Spelunking. The exploration of caves, especially as a hobby. Tableland. A broad, high, level region, a plateau. Theremin. An electronic musical instrument in which the tone is generated by two high-frequency oscillators and the pitch controlled by the movement of the performer's hand toward and away from the circuit. Thermistor. An electrical resistor whose resistance is greatly reduced by heating, used for measurement and control. Topspin. A fast forward spin given to a moving ball, often resulting in a curved path or a strong forward motion on rebounding. Unglazed. Not glazed. Wolfhound. A dog of a large breed originally used to hunt wolves. Zydeco. A kind of black American dance music originally from Louisiana, typically featuring accordion and guitar. Advocat. A liqueur made with eggs, sugar, and brandy. Ashlar. Large square-cut stones used as the surface layer of a wall. Bandeau. A narrow band worn around the head to hold the hair in position. Barbel. A long, thin growth hanging from the mouth or snout of certain fish. Beachcomber. A person who searches beaches for articles of interest or value. Bellhop. An attendant in a hotel who performs services such as carrying guests' luggage, a bellboy. Butterfingers. Informal, a person who often drops things. Clumpy. Thick and heavy. Consanguinity. Formal descent from the same ancestor. Cootie. Informal, a children's term for an imaginary germ or repellent quality transmitted by undesirable or repugnant people. Cornball. Trite and sentimental. Decorous. In keeping with good taste, polite and restrained. Defibrillation. Medicine, the administration of a controlled electric shock to the heart to stop fibrillation of the muscles and allow the normal rhythm to be resumed. Dormouse. A small mouse-like rodent with a bushy tail. Draftee. A person conscripted for military service, draftsman/draftsman/ or draftswoman/draftswoman/. Drat. Used to express mild annoyance. Dropsy. Old-fashioned or less technical term for edema. Dugong. A sea cow, mammal, found in the Indian Ocean. Empyrean. Literary heaven or the sky. Encaustic. Decorated with colored clays or pigments mixed with hot wax, which are burned in as an inlay. Evince. Formal reveal the presence of a quality or feeling. Explicable. Able to be explained or understood. Extrude. Thrust or force something out. Faggot. A bundle of sticks bound together as fuel. Fettle. Condition. Fledge. Of a young bird, develop wing feathers that are large enough for flight. Flower pot. An earthenware or plastic container in which to grow a plant. Foxtail. A common meadow grass that has soft brush-like flowering spikes. Fräulein. A title or form of address for an unmarried German woman. Fullerene. Chemistry, a form of carbon. Gamecock. A rooster bred and trained for cockfighting. Gamete. A cell that is able to unite with another of the opposite sex in sexual reproduction to form a zygote. Gesso. A hard compound of plaster of Paris or whiting and glue, used in sculpture. Guarana. A substance prepared from the seeds of a Brazilian shrub, believed to have medicinal properties. Herpes virus. Any of a group of viruses causing herpes and other diseases. Hieroglyph. A picture of an object representing a word, syllable, or sound, especially as found in the ancient Egyptian writing system. Ingrate. Formal or literary and ungrateful person. Interbreed. Breed or cause to breed with an animal of a different race or species. Interlocutory. Law, of a decree or judgment, given provisionally during the course of a legal action. Kaddish. An ancient Jewish prayer sequence recited in the synagogue service. Kafkaesque. Relating to the Czech novelist Franz Kafka or his nightmarish fictional world. Kiloton. A unit of explosive power equivalent to 1,000 tons of TNT. Kilovolt. Lawgiver. A person who draws up and enacts laws. Lepton. Physics, a subatomic particle of a type that is not held in atomic nuclei, such as an electron or neutrino. Libidinous. Having or showing a strong sex drive. Lodestone. A piece of magnetic iron or used as a magnet. Nanowire. An extremely thin wire made of semiconducting material, used in miniature transistors and some laser applications. Nightdress. A nightgown. Noradrenaline. A hormone that functions as a neurotransmitter and is also used as a drug to raise blood pressure. Opalescent. Showing many small points of shifting color. Oversteer. Turn more sharply than is desirable. Pace setter. A runner or other competitor who sets the pace at the beginning of a race or other competition. Pass him. At various places throughout a written work. Pastis. An anise-flavored aperitif. Petard. Historical, a small bomb made of a metal or wooden box filled with powder. Polyandry. The practice of having more than one husband at the same time. Pufferfish. A fish with a spiny body that can inflate itself like a balloon when threatened. Radiograph. An image produced on a sensitive plate or film by X-rays or other radiation. Reawaken. Awaken again. Redraft. Draft a document again in a different way. Relight. Light something again. Reproof. A criticism or rebuke. Revile. Criticize someone in an abusive or scornful way. Rollop. An article of food rolled up and sometimes with a filling. Seersucker. A fabric with a puckered surface. Shantytown. A settlement in or near a city where poor people live in makeshift houses or shacks. Sing-song. Having a repeated rising and falling rhythm. Sprat. A small edible sea fish of the herring family. Sunshade. A parasol, awning, or other device giving protection from the sun. Sylph. An imaginary spirit of the air. Tendentious. Expressing a strong opinion, especially a controversial one. Toadstool. A fungus, typically in the form of a rounded cap on a stalk. Umph. Variant spelling of oomph. Unburden. Unburden oneself, talk to someone about a worry or problem, so that one feels less anxious. Underfed. Having had too little to eat. Unworn. Not worn or damaged from much use. Uvula. A fleshy part of the soft palate that hangs above the throat. Violist. A viola player. Waterspout. A funnel-shaped column of water and spray formed by a whirlwind occurring over the seawater tabli p noun the level below which the ground is saturated with water. Wearisome. Making one feel tired or bored. Adjoin. Be next to and joined with. Americium. A radioactive metallic chemical element made by high-energy atomic collisions. Angstrom. Physics, a unit of length equal to 100 millionth of a centimeter, 10 meter. Attune. Be receptive to and able to understand someone or something. Backslide. Return to bad ways. Backsplash. A panel behind a sink or stove that protects the wall from splashes. Bobtail. A docked tail of a horse or dog. Borage. A plant with bright blue wane flowers and hairy leaves. Bustard. A large swift-running bird found in open country. Buana. A form of address for a boss or master. Calumny. The making of false statements about someone in order to damage their reputation. Carom. Billiards, a stroke in which the cue bally strikes two balls successively. Catenary. A curve formed by a wire, chain, etc., hanging from 2 points on the same horizontal level. Chancy. Informal, uncertain, risky. Cointreau. Trademark, a colorless orange-flavored liqueur. Confab. Informal and informal conversation or discussion. Confraternity. A brotherhood, especially with a religious or charitable purpose. Conjunctive. Relating to or forming a conjunction. Connote. Imply or suggest something in addition to its main or literal meaning, e.g., the word mother connotes qualities such as protection and affection. Cygnet. A young swan. Dago. Informal, offensive, a Spanish, Portuguese, or Italian-speaking person. Dartboard. A circular board used as a target in the game of darts. Dawdle. Move slowly, take one's time. Decoupage. The decoration of a surface with paper cutouts. Diaphanous. Light, delicate, and translucent. Dingbat. Infornial, a stupid or eccentric person. Disjunctive. Lacking connection or consistency. Downshift. Adopt a simpler and less stressful lifestyle. Dynamometer. An instrument that measures the power output of an engine. Ebonics. American Black English, regarded as a language in its own right rather than as a dialect of Standard English. Endosperm. The part of a seed that acts as a food store for the developing plant embryo. Enterovirus. Any of a group of RNA viruses, including those causing polio and hepatitis A, that typically occur in the gastrointestinal tract, sometimes spreading to the central nervous system or other parts of the body. Equi. Equal, equally. Europium. A soft silvery white metallic element of the lanthanide series. Fecund. Very fertile. Ferrule. A metal ring or cap used to strengthen the end of a handle, stick, or tube. Fiddlesticks. Informal, dated nonsense. Filch. Informal, steal something small. Flautist. Another term for flutist. Fratricide. The killing of one's brother or sister. Fusible. Able to be fused or melted easily. Generalship. The skill and practice of exercising military command. Gloaming. Literary twilight, dusk. Hanker. Feel a desire for or to do. Heavyset. Broad and strongly built. Heliotrope. A plant of the borage family with fragrant purple or blue flowers. Hypochondria. Excessive anxiety about one's health. Hyssop. A small bushy plant whose bitter minty leaves are used in cooking and herbal medicine. Incontestable. Not able to be disputed. Industrialize. Develop industries in a country or region on a wide scale. Interlink. Join or connect things together. Isotherm. A line on a map or diagram connecting points having the same temperature. Jewess. USU. Kshatriya. A member of the second highest Hindu caste, that of the military. Laggard. A person who falls behind others. Lank. Of hair, long, limp, and straight. Maunder. Talk or act in a rambling or aimless way. Meninges. The three membranes that enclose the brain and spinal cord. Mesmerize. Capture a person's attention completely. Naif. Naive. Neonate. A newborn child or mammal. Oblation. A thing presented or offered to a god. Orangery. A type of large conservatory where orange trees are grown. Outmaneuver. Evade or gain an advantage over an opponent by using skill and cunning. Overvalue. Overestimate the importance of something. Pederasty. Sexual intercourse between a man and a boy. Pervious. Allowing water to pass through, permeable. Phonic. Relating to speech sounds. Photochemistry. The branch of chemistry concerned with the chemical effects of light. Puce. A dark red or purple-brown color. Purposive. Having or done with a purpose. Seneschal. The steward of a noble's or monarch's house in medieval times. Sexology. The study of people's sexual behavior. Shipwright. A shipbuilder. Sideband. Telecommunications, one of two frequency bands on either side of the carrier wave, containing the modulated signal. Six-pack. A pack of 6 cans of beer. Squab. A young pigeon that is yet to leave the nest. Straight edge. A bar with one edge accurately straight, used for testing straightness. Subsume. Include something in a larger category or group. Thrum. Make a continuous rhythmic humming sound. Topknot. A section of hair tied up on the top of the head. Trackball. A small ball set in a holder that can be rotated by hand to move a cursor on a computer screen. Tropo. Music too much, excessively. Tumulus. An ancient burial mound. Unbuilt. Not yet built or built on. Unfertilized. Not fertilized. Unrewarding. Not rewarding or satisfying. Unsubtle. Not subtle, obvious. Upanishad. Each of a series of Hindu sacred books explaining the philosophy introduced in the Vedas, the oldest Hindu scriptures. Urogenital. Referring to both the urinary and genital organs. Verdigris. A bright bluish-green substance formed on copper or brass by oxidation, Vocoder. An electronic synthesizer that produces sounds from an analysis of speech input. Waterbed. A bed with a water-filled rubber or plastic mattress. Whinny. A gentle, high-pitched neigh. Zazen. Zen meditation. Accost. Approach someone and speak to them, especially in a rude or aggressive way. Adventitious. Happening by chance. Alehouse. Dated an inn or tavern. Amontillado. A medium dry sherry. Anoxia. An absence of oxygen. Arteriosclerosis. Thickening and hardening of the walls of the arteries. Burundian. A person from Burundi, a country in Central Africa. Calamine. A pink powder consisting of zinc carbonate and ferric oxide, used to make a soothing lotion. Calve. Give birth to a calf. Celerity. Old use or literary speed of movement. Chloral. A colorless liquid used as a sedative. Codeshare. A marketing arrangement in which two airlines sell seats on a flight that one of them operates. Collinear. Geometry, of points, lying in the same straight line. Coloratura. Elaborate ornamentation of a vocal melody, especially in opera. Conjunctiva. The mucous membrane that covers the front of the eye and lines the inside of the eyelids. Crake. A bird of the rail family with a short bill, such as the corn crake. Cruciferous. Belonging to the cabbage family, with 4 equal petals arranged in a cross. Debar. Officially prohibit someone from doing something. De-escalate. Reduce the intensity of a conflict or crisis. Destructible. Able to be destroyed. Dial-up. Used remotely via a telephone line. Diatomic. Chemistry consisting of 2 atoms. Disrobe. Take off one's clothes. Disunited. Lacking unity or agreement. Ducat. A former European gold coin. Edify. Give educational or morally improving instruction to someone. Flaxen. Literary, of hair, pale yellow. Fleshly. Relating to the body and its needs. Flyway. A route regularly used by large numbers of migrating birds. Fornicate. Formal or humorous have sexual intercourse with someone one is not married to. Freewheel. Ride on a bicycle without using the pedals. Fretful. Anxious or upset. Friary. A building or community occupied by friars. Gigawatt. A unit of power equal to 1 billion watts. Gushy. Expressing approval in a very enthusiastic way. Harissa. A hot sauce or paste used in North African cuisine, made from chili peppers, paprika, and olive oil. Hoodwink. Deceive or trick someone. Psychoanalysis, the part of the unconscious mind consisting of a person's basic inherited instincts, needs, and feelings. Ileum. Ilia/ileus/ the third and lowest part of the small intestine, between the jejunum and the cecum. In-law. A relative by marriage. Jellied. Set in a jelly. Jeroboam. A wine bottle with a capacity 4 times larger than that of an ordinary bottle. Landholder. A landowner. Longshoreman. A person employed to load and unload ships. Lycanthropy. The mythical transformation of a person into a wolf. Mainspring. The most influential or important part. Mayoress. The wife of a mayor. Misbegotten. Badly designed or planned. Monopolist. A person or organization that has exclusive control of the supply of a particular product or service. Motet. A short piece of sacred choral music. Naturopathy. A system of alternative medicine involving the treatment or prevention of diseases by diet, exercise, and massage rather than by using drugs. Novelette. A short novel, especially a romantic novel, regarded as poorly written. Olfaction. Technical, the sense of smell. Ouzo. An anise-flavored Greek liqueur. Overrate. Have too high an opinion of someone or something. Papilla. A small rounded protuberance on a part of the body or on a plant. Phlebotomy. The surgical opening or puncture of a vein to withdraw blood or introduce a fluid. Pianissimo. And adjective, music very soft or softly. Pre-kindergarten. Daycare with some educational content for children younger than 5. Propolis. A substance collected by honeybees from tree buds for constructing and varnishing honeycombs. Revivalism. The promotion of a revival of religious faith. Rosicrucian. A member of a secretive 17th and 18th century society devoted to the study of alchemy and the occult. Scrimshaw. Decorative work consisting of carved designs on the bones and teeth of marine mammals or on similar materials. Selfhood. The quality that forms a person's individual character. Septicemia. Blood poisoning caused by bacteria. Sepulchre. A stone tomb. Sepulchral. Gloomy and solemn. Showplace. A beautiful or interesting place that attracts many visitors. Shuttlecock. A light cone-shaped object consisting of a rounded piece of cork with feathers attached, or a similar object made of plastic, struck with rackets in badminton. Sidetrack. Distract someone from an urgent or important issue. Sinter. A hard substance that is deposited from mineral springs. Snaffle. Brit. Thermography. A printing technique in which a resinous powder is dusted onto wet ink and fused by heating to produce a raised impression. Touchback. Football a ball down deliberately behind one's own goal line or kicked through one's end zone. Transaxle. An integral driving axle and differential gear in a motor vehicle. Troglodyte. A person who lives in a cave. Tutelary. Acting as a protector, guardian, or patron. Untucked. With the edges or ends hanging loose, not tucked in. Viscountess. The wife or widow of a viscount, or a woman holding the rank of viscount in her own right. Word perfect. Knowing one's part or speech by heart. Abridge. Shorten a text or filmed production. Administrate. Manage an organization. Altiplano. A broad, high-level region in Central South America. Angelfish. A tropical fish with large fins, often vividly colored or patterned. Anglophile. A person who likes or greatly admires England or Britain. Anti-clockwise. An adjective British term for counterclockwise. Antimatter. Antonym. A word opposite in meaning to another, e.g., bad and good. Armorer. A maker or supplier of weapons or armor. Babushka. An old woman or grandmother. Ballyhoo. Informal excessive publicity or fuss. Bedwetting. Urinating unintentionally while asleep. Belarusian. Of or relating to Belarus, its people, or its language. Bluish. Variant spelling of bluish. Blue jay. Cabinet maker. A skilled joiner who makes furniture or similar high-quality woodwork. Catatonia. A condition resulting from schizophrenia or another mental disorder, catatonic, in which a person experiences both periods of unconsciousness and overactivity. Commodious. Formal, roomy and comfortable. Compadre. Informal, a friend or companion. Cripes. Informal, an expression of surprise. Demountable. Able to be dismantled or removed and readily reassembled or repositioned. Desegregate. End a policy of racial segregation in a school or similar institution. Diptych. A painting on two hinged wooden panels, typically forming an altarpiece. Dodecahedron. A three-dimensional shape having 12 plane faces. Dotage. The period of life in which a person is old and weak. Dullard. A slow or stupid person. Dysmorphia. Medicine deformity or abnormality in the shape or size of a part of the body. Exactitude. The quality of being exact. Forsythia. A shrub whose bright 512 fortitude yellow flowers appear in early spring before its leaves. Gaullist. A supporter of the principles and policies of the French statesman Charles de Gaulle, characterized chiefly by conservatism and nationalism. Gigahertz. A unit of frequency equivalent to 1 billion hertz. Grandiflora. Bearing large flowers. Handwoven. Made on a hand-operated loom. Hayloft. A loft over a stable or in a barn used for storing hay or straw. Hellhound. A demon in the form of a dog. Hexagram. A six-pointed star formed by two intersecting equilateral triangles. Hydroplane. A light, fast motorboat designed to skim over the surface of water. Idiosyncrasy. A distinctive or unusual way of behaving or thinking peculiar to a particular person. Indiscernible. Impossible to see or distinguish clearly. Intercut. Alternate scenes with contrasting scenes in a movie. Interphase. Biology, the resting phase between successive mitotic divisions of a cell, or between the first and second divisions of meiosis. Kilohertz. A measure of frequency equivalent to 1000 cycles per second. Lexicography. The practice of compiling dictionaries. Meeting house. A Quaker place of worship. Meteoroid. A small body that would become a meteor if it entered the Earth's atmosphere. Monofilament. A single strand of a synthetic fiber such as nylon. Mudslinging. Informal, the use of insults and accusations to damage an opponent's reputation. Non-native. Of a person, animal, or plant, not native to a particular place. Occitan. The medieval or modern language of Languedoc, southern France, including Provençal. Organophosphate. Any of a group of organic compounds whose molecules contain phosphates, especially a pesticide of this kind. Outstation. A branch of an organization situated far from its headquarters. Parsec. A unit of astronomical distance equal to about 3.25 light-years. Phylloxera. An insect that is a pest of vines. Pien. And adjective, music soft or softly. Piton. A peg or spike driven into a crack to support a climber or a rope. Rune-up. A period of preparation before an important event. Scattershot. Covering a broad range in an unsystematic way. Scuttlebutt. Informal rumor, gossip. Serology. The scientific study or examination of blood serum. Shiftless. Lazy and lacking ambition. Sideswipe. Strike something, especially a motor vehicle, with a glancing blow. Sirocco. A hot wind blowing from North Africa to southern Europe. Spidery. Long and thin, like a spider's legs. Station master. A person in charge of a railroad station. Stipendiary. Receiving a stipend, working for pay rather than voluntarily. Stylistics. The study of the literary styles of particular writers or types of literature. Terpene. Chemistry, any of a large group of unsaturated hydrocarbons found in the essential oils of conifers and other plants. Thermoregulation. Technical, the regulation of bodily temperature. Tin plate. Sheet steel or iron coated with tin.